Hey guys, welcome to this episode or this event of All Things REI.
We had one last night, that's why. Well, I want to say first of all, thank you to Ray for hosting us here at 445 Polisher for our walk tour, I guess you would say, our tour of the property.
Walk tour.
Ray, do you want to give us a little bit of background about yourself?
Sure. So, Ray Blanchard, I'm originally from Toronto. I've been in Windsor for just under 7 years. Came here for real estate. And I started off doing like smaller flips, and then with joint ventures and buying some homes with no money down. But it wasn't making enough money, so I decided to start doing bigger projects. And the best known project that I've known for so far to date is just down the street called the Bitcoin Building, where I bought a 10,000 square foot nightclub converted to a high-end 13-unit apartment building. And it's performing really, really well. This building here I bought in December of 2023. It was all office. Everything was office. There was a residential component to it, but you could only get to the residential through the office. So it didn't have its own, it wasn't a separate residential.
And Ray, was that a single unit commercial building, you call it?
Yeah, this was a mixed use. It's a mixed use building because it is recognized, the commercial component is recognized on the taxes, but it was predominantly all commercial and with some utility space as well. And so when I came through it, I saw that it had a lot of advantages for an easy conversion. So what it's going to be, and you'll see after it's done, it's going to be a 4-unit residential building. It's mixed use still. I just shrunk the office to 800 square feet. So that's the only part I can't show you tonight because I've already got it rented out to an office tenant. And it's a furnished office, fully furnished office. It's only 800 square feet. I rent it out for $2,000 a month plus HST.
Ooh, great.
Okay.
Do you have any other rough numbers you can kind of go over right now?
Yeah, so with this building, I bought it for $725,000. And just to let you guys know, this building had been on the market for over 2 years.
Wow.
They started it at $900,000. They kept on slowly lowering it. When I got interested in it, they were asking, I believe, $800,000. Okay, and so I put in an offer at $715,000 with everything included. I wanted all the furniture, I wanted all the desks, everything, because what I do is I buy them and then I sell it all off and I raise money that way. And this one I didn't make as much as I did on the Bitcoin Building by selling off assets that were already here. The guys, they're called chattels. I think I made maybe $2,000-$3,000 by selling stuff off. So I bought it I offered $710. He countered at $725. I said yes right away because I was ready to pay $750.
Oh, wow.
All right. And so I bought that. I thought I was going to get, the reason why I really liked it is I thought I was going to get a $90,000 tax credit because when you buy commercial buildings in Windsor, you're eligible to get a regional opportunities tax credit. Now, it used to be only $45,000, but for 2 years during the pandemic time, they doubled it to $90,000. It's now back to $45,000. So I thought I was going to get $90,000 off my purchase price. The problem with that is that I didn't pay attention. 90% of the floor space has to be used for commercial, right, at all times. And here, it's actually 87%. All right. And I didn't want to screw around with Revenue Canada and try and, pass a fast one on them and then come back at me and charge me penalties and everything. So I had to abandon the $90,000 tax credit. And they were onto it because, like they said, they can just check the property tax roll and it already shows, even on the property taxes, this building is 20% residential and 80% commercial, even though that's not according to the floor space. But now, once it's all finished, it's going to be 80% residential and 20% commercial.
Gotcha.
Okay, so roughly we have about 3,900 square feet here in the building, and only 800 square feet will remain commercial.
Did Windsor have any subsidies as well, like for the downtown core or anything that you were able to use?
But the CIP, you need to have, to qualify for the CIP, which gives you $2,500 grant per unit that you build. You have to have a minimum of 4 units. And I was trying to argue with them for other building code reasons. I was arguing with them that the residential unit was already there. It's already on the tax code, because I didn't want to have, because it would have just triggered, if I had 4 units, 4 brand new units, it would have triggered a bunch of different things with the building code that would have cost me a lot of money to renovate. But because I kept it to 3 units, I didn't have to do a lot of stuff, and because it's only 3 new units, but that disqualified me from the CIP, and the CIP would have only been like $10,000 anyway.
Okay, not much then.
So it wouldn't have been that much. So I didn't apply for any government grants. Basically, I got $725,000. I bought this thing with $20,000 of my own money. All right, I didn't have very much money. I negotiated a vendor take-back mortgage with the seller of $568,000 and that's at 5% for 2 years.
Wow.
Okay.
That's huge.
Yeah. And then this is when interest rates were like, mortgage rates, 5-year mortgage rates were at 7 and 7.5%. I've negotiated a 5% mortgage.
Well, you've been on a commercial regardless, and to give you an idea, even a commercial today, mixed use, you're still 6.1 to 6.3.
Yeah.
So
that's the negotiating power you have when you're buying commercial and there's not very many people buying, right? You can negotiate with the vendors to get good vendor take-back mortgage. Because trying to get a bank to finance this while I'm doing construction would have been really hard. I only use private money, and then with this one here, I'm actually not using any private money. Again, getting back, I bought it for $725. $568,000 was financed through the vendor take-back mortgage, interest-only payments, and then the rest of the down payment minus my $20,000 that I put down was financed through a promissory note. Okay. And it cost like 20%. It's about 20%. The prom note was about 20%. But I didn't mind because I knew it was going to make a lot of money. So I didn't care. And I paid off the promissory note within like 4 months. So, because I got my refinance through the Bitcoin building, and that helped me pay off the promissory note.
I don't know if you actually prefaced that. You've done the Bitcoin building down the street.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. So, and all the renovations here, my renovation budget has been about $200,000. And that budget has really just come out of my cash flow from the Bitcoin building. I borrowed a little bit more on our personal residence. We upped our mortgage by $50,000, but because the renovation took a lot longer than I thought, just because the building permit took a lot longer to get. It took 6 months to get the building permit, and I didn't apply for it until August, so I was a little bit behind the wheel on that. But yeah, we just got our building permit issued yesterday. I got my building inspection booked for tomorrow morning, and we're ready to close up everything. And if I'm able to close everything up, I'll be finished this whole project within a month.
Amazing.
And tenants will be in here.
Crazy fast.
And I'll have tenants in by April. Yeah.
So do you want to show us maybe the first unit?
Sure, yeah. We're going to go up, and what we're going to see is the unit that was originally residential. The only reason we're doing that one first, I would have liked to keep it for last, but I have it rented out tonight. There's a guy coming at 7 o'clock to sleep there tonight. So come on in.
Come on, guys.
And this unit, again, this was the one that was already done. The previous owner put in about $300,000 worth of renovations into this building. And so he did okay. He bought the building, I think, like 7, 8, 9 years ago for about $185,000. He put $300,000 into it, then he sold it to me for $725,000. So he's still making money too. He's happy. This was a closet area, like a little closet area, and we opened it up, and that's where we put our fridge. It's a small little single 1-bedroom apartment fridge.
And what are you getting again for rent for this unit?
This unit here, I'm anticipating getting $2,500 to $2,600 a month, all inclusive.
Wow.
Furnished.
Not bad.
All right.
Not bad.
That will include a parking space out in the back.
Yeah.
It will include a parking space in the back, and it will include bi-weekly cleaning. And also, I put fire sticks on all my TVs so that, and they're all pre-programmed, so they have 51,000 TV entertainment options. And I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do this with this apartment, but with the Bitcoin building, I made a deal with a local gym, and I offer 24 access to the gym to my tenants as well. Mm-hmm. So I negotiate a bulk rate, and the gym membership is attached to the apartment, not to the tenant. So in here we have the bedroom. I didn't do anything in that bedroom except put in a big TV. That's it. And the bed, it's there, the king size bed. It was there and the linen, everything, that's all him. The only thing I'm gonna add to that, I'm gonna put a headboard in, and that's it, maybe some plants. This apartment here is a 1-bedroom plus den. This is the one I'm kind of most excited about because I'm gonna do something different here. Yeah. This apartment, I plan on putting it up a lot on short-term rentals because it's gonna be a very unique setup here in Windsor. This is going to be a spa and longevity apartment, okay?
Great.
It's a 1-bedroom plus den. So in this room, we're gonna have a couch that opens up to a bed. It's a chaise lounge couch that opens up the bed. We have a nice big TV on that wall. We have the nice wainscoting wall there just for a little bit of accent. Where I'm standing here, you're gonna have a zero gravity, full body massage chair. All right, it'll massage your whole body. And while you're doing it, you have this red light therapy over top of you. So you get like a far infrared light. So that's 2 therapies there. And then as you go into the dining room and kitchen area, there's going to be a lounge. It's actually a chaise chair, and it's on top of it. It's going to have what's called a PEMF mat, a pulsed electromagnetic frequency mat. You lie on it, and it just pulses electromagnetic frequency into your body, and it stimulates the mitochondria in every one of your cells to actually produce more energy and to heal. All right, and you can heal your DNA. Then there's going to be another one that has a full, I'm going to put a rubber mat down underneath it because it actually is a vibration machine. It's a full body vibration machine. You get on it and it vibrates really fast. And if you stay on this thing for 5 minutes, you burn just as much calories as if you were speed walking for 35 minutes. So I wanted to create an apartment that I could rent out, and then when it's not rented out, I can come and use it, right? So you're all welcome to come and join me if you want to come and use it. This behind us here is an infrared sauna, all right, that I bought secondhand.
Oh, very cool.
And so that's going to go in the bathroom. The infrared sauna is going to go in the bathroom. It can seat 2 people. So you get a sauna experience, you get the massage experience, you get the PEMF mat, you get the red light therapy, you get the full body vibration therapy. We're gonna have aromatherapy going on, and it's gonna be really cool. A lot of different things.
Yep.
And then lastly, we're putting in a very cool toilet in that bathroom. It's the creme de la creme of toilets. It's a $1,000 toilet. It's called a smart toilet. When you walk up to it, the toilet seat automatically opens up. And if you're a guy and you need to do number 1, you don't have to lift the toilet seat. You don't have to touch it. You just put your foot beside the toilet, and the second toilet seat opens up, and then you do your number 1. But if you have to do number 2, you sit down, you do your number 2. It has a bidet built into it, so it washes you, and then it has an air dryer, so it air dries you afterwards. It's a pretty cool toilet, and I think it's going to be really cool. And then there's a company out of the States that is now have these products where you put these sensor. It's a drop-in sensor into the toilet, and I'm going to put these in there, and you can download their app. And every customer, everyone who stays in the building, stays in this apartment, they can go to the toilet, and when you go to the toilet, number 1 or number 2, the sensors detect and analyze your stool and your urine, and they give you like 100 biomarkers based on the analysis, and you can get some of them for free on the app. But if you want a really detailed analysis of what's going through you and coming out of you, you can get that on the app, and you have to pay extra. And that actually becomes a revenue source for me too, because every time they pay, I will get a commission.
Really? So much money total do you think you're going to get?
So I'm making money off toilets.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right.
How much do you think you'll get for this Airbnb, like when it's rented out?
My plan is to start off at $300 a night for 2 people, $375 for 3 because we have the second bed, and $450 a night for 4 people, which I think is pretty affordable. Like 4 people, it's like $112 each, and you get a spa experience and overnight stay. So I think it's pretty compelling, and especially with the exchange rate, I'm going to market it to people in Detroit and Michigan, and I think I'll just keep this thing full. Dining room, kitchen in there. We have the bedroom over there, and then we have the bathroom here. So go ahead, take a look. When everyone's had a chance to look around, we'll go down to unit number 2.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a studio apartment, and the only reason I'm standing here is because I want to demonstrate how high it is. I'm 6'1", and like there's still so much height.
How many feet did you say it was again?
7 feet 10 inches.
Okay, wow.
Okay, and I did not have to dig it down. This height was already here. The ceiling was not finished. Everything was exposed. This was all just mechanical and storage area. So I had to put in all that wall there and the new door, and then I put all the mechanical behind it. Okay, and then over where you guys are standing there, there's going to be it's going to be a chaise. I love my chaise couches. So you're gonna put in a chaise couch. On that wall is gonna be a nice 50 or 60 inch TV. And then behind the couch, you're gonna have a table with a couple of chairs that you can sit at. And then you got a nice little storage area behind here. Gotcha. The reason why I set it up this way is that it doesn't matter where you are in the apartment except for the bathroom, you can see the TV. So you can be in bed and watch TV, you can be eating, or you can be lying on the couch, or you can be cooking and watch TV. There was already 2 windows here. They were just smaller windows. We just made them bigger. We did not need them to be egress windows because we have an entrance and an exit. My total construction budget for this project is about $200,000. So with the purchase price and the carrying costs, we're going to be around $950,000 when all finished and done. I expect with the rents that I'm going to get as furnished rentals, I expect, forget about the Airbnb revenue for the one up there. Just let's say I'm going to rent it out long-term, furnished rental. $2,500 a month there, $2,500 a month on the second floor, $2,000 a month here, $2,200 a month for the next one because it's a bigger one. Even though it's further down in the ground, it's just bigger. Altogether, that is $9,200, and then I got the office already rented out for $2,000 a month, right, net. So we're at $11,200 a month. We should be at $11,200 a month. That's $133,000 a year, roughly, in rents. After you take off all the expenses like property taxes, insurance, everything, you're going to be an NOI of around $100K with $100,000 a year in net operating income. I'm anticipating getting a valuation of an appraisal of about 1.5 to 1.7. All right. Wow. Some people are going to think that's very aggressive, but I think I can get about the same valuation that I got at the Bitcoin building, about $350,000, $370,000 per unit. If I get that appraisal, I'll go to. I'm cultivating a relationship with Libro Credit Union. I will go with my refinance with them. They've already said they're going to give me 75% loan to value. I'm fine with that. 75% loan to value of, let's say, 1.5. That is, anyone can do math real quick. That's going to be 300. What is that? You
still pull out all your money.
It's about 375,000. So I'm going to get about 1.15 million in a mortgage, and I only owe, because all the renovation expenses basically came from the cash flow of the Bitcoin building and a little bit of board money, but basically I only owe $568,000 on this place. So I should be able to get all my renovation expenses plus $300,000 or $400K back. And then I still have $300,000 to $400K in equity, and the place will cash flow because that $100,000 in NOI, that will carry the mortgage. Even a $1.15 million mortgage, it's only going to cost me about $8,000 a month, or about 90, let's say about $9,000 bucks. I was $90,000 a year, 92. So it still cash flows. And that's if I don't do any short-term rentals. I just do long-term furnished rentals. So this is the last apartment. We call it Unit 1. We are actually, the floor here is about, I think it's 12 to 14 feet below grade. Okay, so you can see we come down 2 staircases here, but there's another staircase in the hallway that goes up to grade. So we're pretty far below. And this had no window in it before. This was kind of it was very dark. He had it painted all brown, like this brown right here. It was very dark. And the guy who owned the building, he basically had a long boardroom table in here, and all he would use it for basically was for poker games with his buddies. The reason I love this place is the height. We've got 8-foot ceilings, and this is a drop-down ceiling, and it's an 8-foot ceiling. All right, and the fact that it's a drop-down ceiling, and as you can see here, it's already fire rated. It already did the fire rating between the office and here, so I didn't have to fire rate it. Oh, sorry. Technically, this is a studio plus den. Okay, how the tenant uses it, it's up to them, but most likely they're going to use the den as a bedroom. All right, because this will probably be a living area, dining area, kitchen. I will set it up according to building code, but how the tenant uses it, of course, that's up to them, right? So the reason I love this apartment as an apartment is it had its own entryway. It's nice and high, had its own kitchen, had its own bathroom. These are not the original ceiling tiles. These are ones that I put in because I just like the design much better. So what we did is we took all the old ceiling tiles that we had and we put them on top. So they push everything down, and it actually gives another layer of sound protection as well as fire protection.
Yeah, just the weight to it.
So yeah, it gives some weight to it. It holds it down, makes it look really nice, and then again, it's just an extra layer of sound and fire protection, which is great. Now, again, this did not have a window, and every apartment needs to have a window. So we had to dig down about from the ground. We had to dig down about 8 feet, and we had to put in a new drainage system, right? We put gravel, drainage system, gravel, concrete, put in a brand new window. This is an egress window. There's an in-floor heating system that was already put in, and it's natural gas powered. So basically it stays nice and warm in here. All right. Plus you get the residual heat from upstairs. And it's very well insulated, but the sanitary lines, if you don't have a backup valve and everybody else on the street has one, and we have a big major, 10-year rainstorm that floods basements, and you don't have a backup valve, guess what? All your basement apartments are going to back up, and it's cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So a backup valve costs like $2,000 to put in, and you never have to worry about it. Okay, so I put that in, but it already had them separated, and it's a nice little mechanical room. They have 2 sump pumps in there because everything below here, all the fixtures here are below the sewer line. So that everything enters into a sump pump, and then the sump pump puts it into the sanitary. And then they have a backup battery for both sump pumps. Normally, if you're going to renovate and create 4 new apartments, your budget's going to be a lot more than $200,000.
Oh yeah.
All right, you're probably looking at double at least. If not more. At the Bitcoin building, it's cost me about $170,000 per apartment. And that is still really cheap. If you're gonna build a brand new apartment building, you're looking at $300 to $400 per square foot, or $300 to $400,000 per door, right? Just to build, right? And it's crazy. Like the Hive just down the street, I know exactly what they cost. They spent about $350,000 per door, per apartment. And me, I just converted. I didn't build all out. I just gutted it, did 13 apartments. I get higher rents than they do, and it only costs me $170,000 per door. If I get the revenues that I think I'm going to get from Unit 3, I will cash flow really well after paying off my mortgage. And then when you factor in mortgage pay down, the excess equity that we have in the place, plus the cash flow, it's a no-brainer. And like I said, this was available for everyone for 2 years, right? It's just, you got to look at properties in a certain way, right? People come in and look at this property, but they just weren't looking at it the way I look at things, and the way some other people, like some of you investors, might look at it as well. But there's a lot of opportunity out there. I honestly think I could tell you there's 10 or 11 properties out there that I know right now that would make great conversions, and all in downtown, because I focus in downtown. I'm 100% invested in downtown.
Maybe that's another question. Why do you like the downtown so much?
So why do I like the downtown? That's a good question. I met somebody who was a higher up at the University of Windsor. And we just started talking one day. I think it was at a coffee shop. We started talking, and he told me that the University of Windsor, they were currently doing some kind of sports facility out on the West End. But he said, after that sports facility, we are not investing any more major building projects out in the West End. All new expansions of the university and St. Clair College are all going. We made a deal with the city. We're going to bring our student and our learning base to downtown. And that's what they've done. They bought the Armory building. They bought the Windsor Star building. St. Clair College already had offices down. The University of Windsor already had.
Building too for like 6.5 or 8.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like,
Was that part of the city's revitalization
that was
plan?
a deal that, that's what the deal that the
step,
city struck with the university to get more density of people downtown, living, working downtown, and eventually living downtown. So I heard this and I was like, well, I know there's not enough rental apartments downtown, right? So that's why that's when I started walking around and looking at all these boarded up buildings. I'm thinking, man, we could just convert these things. And originally the Bitcoin building was going to be a student rental. It was just going to be student rentals. And then it just kind of developed into what it was over time. There is 11 high-rise apartment buildings or condos under development in downtown Windsor. 11. That equals more than 2,000 apartments that are coming to the downtown. More than 5,000 residents are going to be living in downtown. All right? Downtown's going to be where it's at. That's where you're going to get the highest appreciation in property value in the next 10 years.
Just because it's so
not
low
going
right
to happen
now.
in a year or 2 years, but in 5 years, 7 years, you're not going to recognize the downtown. There's
like
huge,
hearing
and the city just committed $4 million a year to spending on improving the downtown between improved policing, security cameras, beautification efforts, all of this, property standards enforcement, all of this. And then there's a lighting component coming as well. It is going to be an amazing transition. I think downtown Windsor's best days are ahead of it. But again, I'm all invested in downtown, so that's why I preach downtown a lot. But it's because I believe that you're going to get a really good bang for your buck in the next 5 to 10 years. Do I provide parking? Yes, I do. I have contracts with the parking garage across the street. I have 8 spots there, and then I have an open parking lot at the end of the street where I contract another 5 parking spots. And so I provide parking. So basically imagine Polisher Street from say Wyandotte all the way down to either Park or University becoming a walking street.
Yeah.
And then you have permanent stalls set up, permanent small little vendor stalls. And we already have the farmer's market right on Polisher Street.
It's great,
The farmer's market's amazing. We just won the award for the best farmer's market in all of Ontario. And we're already 85% sold out this year. All the vendor spaces, we're 85% sold out this year. We're going to have a great farmer's market year.
When does that start,
Starts the last weekend of March.
So soon, actually.
And then it goes all the way to the last weekend of October. Wow, that's great. And we're going to have night markets. I mean, I think a lot of people in Windsor, they really like to shit on the downtown, and they shit on Windsor, period. But there's a lot of new energy, a lot of new money coming from outside of Windsor that's coming and investing, and a lot of it's being invested in downtown because you got amenities like the casino, the tunnel, parks, and the Riverside. Riverside is, I think everyone would agree that the Riverside Drive is the nicest part of downtown, nicest part of Windsor. The nicest part of Windsor, period, right, is the Riverside Drive. And so that's right downtown. I believe that the secret is out. The affordability of Windsor is very desirable. And the GTA and the whole Golden Horseshoe are so expensive to develop with and so cumbersome that a lot of, like I said, 11 apartment buildings are under development. I'd say half of those are GTA developers because they're so sick of the red tape, the costs, and just how expensive it is to purchase land there. And so they're all coming down here. I mean, and you've got retirees that are selling I call them accidental millionaires. They're selling their $1.5, $2 million homes in Toronto, and they come down here, they buy a bigger home for like $600,000, and they've got enough money to live the rest of their retirement years and travel nicely. And Windsor, and they got a better climate. Like that's the best thing I think Windsor's got going for it, is we have the best climate in all of Canada. Some people like to say Vancouver, Victoria. I don't care. I don't like rain, 6 months of the year, right? Windsor's got the best climate in all of Canada, right? And so, yeah, I mean, last year, did we even notice winter? No, it was like a week or 2 and we were done. It was so easy. This year has been a little different, but anyways, thank you everyone for coming.
All right, we're here at Bowl and Barrel for the meetup portion of our event. What do you think, Jeremy? How's it so far?
Great turnout. I was a little bit worried about hosting one downtown just because of what has been going on and obviously some parking issues, but we had a great turnout, and we want to say thank you to Ray and everyone that showed up. Absolutely. It was a unique perspective on the downtown core. We got someone that eats, sleeps, and breathes downtown, and we learned a lot about why the downtown. How are you, Sean? What do you think?
I love this too because it was really unique in the sense that it was a commercial mixed-use building that he actually converted back to residential. You don't really see that very often.
No.
And you really need that in the downtown. We need more people to actually live there and be walking around. So Ray's putting his money where his mouth is and actually doing it and investing multiple times. He's also done the Bitcoin building, but we want to show this one off because I don't think very many investors and people have seen this sort of work before. They've seen flips and buy and holds.
It's a very unique outside the box strategy. That building, when you look at it, when you look at it from the front, it looks like a single single unit. Like there's
you would never assume there's 5 units.
Yeah, 3,800 square feet, and the basement height was
over 7 feet.
7
like
foot.
Way
10,
more than enough. Yeah.
Crazy to think about, and it's something that we don't see very, very often. So it was great to come out to downtown Windsor. As you can see right now, we're at the famous Bull and Barrel, and this place is
bumping. We don't have the bull to ride, but it's good enough. We have actually a good turnout as well. Still, even for the meetup portion, we had about over 30 people that showed up.
Absolutely, the room was packed.
It was actually literally packed. In some of these units that are only bachelor units, we're all cramming into this one little space. But I think it really went well, and we're looking forward to the next event because we have one coming up March 14th.
And we're teaming up with Ray once again. And what's this event going to be?
Yeah, we're going to be going to the Windsor Express. So what's going to happen is we're going to actually have dinner and a speaker. And then once we have that, then we're actually going to go down, watch the basketball game, and also mingle courtside. We're going to mingle courtside, have drinks, stand up tables. But honestly, I don't think many people actually watch the game. It's going to be more mingling, and there's going to be people that are not the normal crowd. There's going to be some just straight up entrepreneurs, business owners.
We're going to have bankers there.
Bankers.
We had, like the last one I did with Ray with those, there was a great keynote speaker. I believe he's bringing in a CPA that's also an investor from the Toronto area that will teach us how to really maneuver our money around, which will be awesome. Once again, it's going to be a buffet. Tickets are going to be around $40-ish from what I was told. And it's a great deal to come out to meet other like-minded individuals, shoot some hoops, watch a Windsor Express basketball game courtside. So come join us. That's going to be March 14th.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss that one. And we got other property tours in the pipeline as well, but stay tuned for those. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We even post on LinkedIn, just we're everywhere now. And let us know other properties that you want to see or other content that you want us to shoot.
And if you didn't watch our video from the night before, we did an awesome All Things REI podcast with Lyndon Crane, talking about the Amherstburg market. He's a young entrepreneur. He is a mortgage agent, town councilor, and it was really, really good one there. So if you haven't watched that, definitely go follow that video as well and take a look at it.
Yeah. All right. See you guys in the next one. Bye.